There are moments in life when we become so busy with the outside world that we completely forget the inside world. We spend hours fixing our appearance, building our careers, growing our businesses, chasing recognition, and trying to impress people. Yet the heart inside us is quietly becoming weak, empty, and distant from Allah, and this is why goodness must always begin from within. Because when the heart is pure, the actions naturally become beautiful. But when the heart is corrupted, even good looking deeds can become meaningless. A person may speak softly, smile publicly, and appear religious in front of others. But Allah does not only look at appearances. Allah looks at the sincerity hidden inside the chest. Sometimes we become more worried about how people see us than how Allah sees us. We become more concerned about our reputation among people, while neglecting our relationship with the one who created us. And this is dangerous because people can only see what is outside, but Allah sees every thought, every intention, every hidden feeling that nobody else knows about. The beauty of Islam is that it constantly brings us back to the heart. Every act of worship is connected to sincerity. Salah is not just movements, fasting is not just hunger, charity is not just giving money, even saying kind words is not just about speech. Everything begins with intention. A sincere heart can turn small actions into mountains of reward, while an empty heart can turn great actions into dust. Sometimes one smile changes someone's entire day. Sometimes one message of kindness saves a person from sadness. Sometimes one sincere dua for another person reaches the heavens before they even know about it. Never underestimate small deeds done with sincerity. In the eyes of Allah, what matters is not the size of the action, but the honesty behind it. We live in a time where people are struggling silently. Many are smiling outside while breaking inside. Many are carrying pain nobody knows about. This is why kindness is so powerful. The believer should become a source of comfort for people, not a source of pain. Your words should heal, not destroy. Your presence should bring peace, not fear. And this begins when the heart is connected to Allah. When the heart is pure, arrogance disappears. Pride disappears, jealousy disappears, hatred begins to fade away. A person with a clean heart does not compete in showing off. They compete in pleasing Allah. They are happy when others succeed because they understand that Arabic, Rot Arabics, Ain Arabic, Af comes from Allah. They forgive because they hope Allah will forgive them. They help people because they know Allah loves those who bring ease to others. One of the greatest diseases today is hardness of the heart. We scroll past suffering without feeling anything. We hurt people with our tongues and sleep peacefully at night. We become addicted to criticizing others while ignoring our own faults. We laugh at sins, normalize disobedience, and slowly the heart stops feeling the weight of wrongdoing. This is why remembrance of Allah is so important. The Qur'an softens the heart, Salah purifies the soul. Dua reconnects us with our Creator. Tears shed for the sake of Allah cleanse the darkness building inside us. Do not wait until life becomes perfect before returning to Allah. Some people think they must first fix everything before becoming close to Him. No, come to Allah with your brokenness, come with your weakness, come with your mistakes and sins. Allah does not turn away the one who sincerely returns. Human beings may remind you of your past forever, but Allah speaks about mercy again and again. The door of repentance remains open until the final breath. And remember this carefully, goodness is contagious. When one person changes sincerely, others around them begin to change too. A father who improves his character inspires his children. A mother who increases in patience changes the atmosphere of the home. A young person who stands firm upon faith becomes a light among friends drowning in darkness. Never think your goodness is too small to matter. The world today is not only suffering from lack of wealth or technology, it is suffering from lack of sincere hearts. People are hungry for compassion, hungry for honesty, hungry for mercy, hungry for someone who reminds them of Allah through character, not just words. Sometimes your silence can be worship. Sometimes your patience can guide someone. Sometimes walking away from an argument for the sake of Allah is greater than winning it. And look at the example of the Prophet DFA. He carried the heaviest burdens, yet he remained the most merciful. He was insulted, rejected, mocked, and harmed, but his heart remained connected to Allah. He forgave when others wanted revenge. He showed mercy when others showed cruelty. This is true strength. True strength is not in overpowering people. It is in controlling the heart when emotions become intense. Ask yourself tonight, what lives inside my heart? Is it sincerity or showing off? Is it mercy or bitterness? Is it love for Allah or love for Dunya alone? Because the condition of the heart determines the direction of the life. And no matter how successful someone appears in this world, if the heart is empty of Allah, there will always be a missing piece inside them. So purify your heart daily, protect it from hatred, protect it from arrogance, protect it from envy. Fill it with remembrance of Allah, gratitude, patience, and sincerity, because when the heart becomes close to Allah, goodness naturally flows from every part of your life. And the most beautiful hearts are not the perfect ones, but the hearts that constantly return to Allah. There is something incredibly powerful about a person who carries mercy in their heart. Not wealth, not status, not fame, but mercy. Because mercy has the ability to heal wounds that money can never heal. A kind word can lift someone who has been drowning in sadness for years. A moment of patience can save a relationship that was about to break. A sincere act of compassion can restore hope in a person who had almost given up on life. And this is exactly what Islam teaches us, to become people who bring ease to others, not difficulty. We are living in a world where people are becoming emotionally exhausted. Everyone is fighting battles we cannot see. Some are struggling with anxiety, some are struggling with loneliness, some are carrying pain behind smiles. Some are trying to survive silently while appearing strong in front of everyone else. This is why your character matters more than you realize. The way you speak to people matters. The way you treat your family matters. The way you respond when angry matters. Even the expressions on your face matter. Sometimes we think worship is only prayer, fasting, and recitation. But we forget that how we treat people is also part of worship. Islam is not only about rituals between you and Allah. It is also about mercy between you and creation. A believer cannot claim closeness to Allah while constantly hurting people with their tongue, arrogance, harshness, or cruelty. Look carefully at the life of the Prophet DFA. People were drawn to him before they were drawn to his words. His honesty, patience, gentleness, and mercy touched hearts deeply. He did not humiliate people publicly. He did not insult those who made mistakes. He corrected with wisdom. He spoke with softness. Even when people harmed him, he responded with dignity and compassion. This is the prophetic way, and sadly today, many people push others away from faith because of harshness in their behavior. There are people who pray regularly but speak to their parents disrespectfully. There are people who memorize verses of the Qur'an yet destroy others through gossip and backbiting. There are people who appear religious publicly but are unbearable inside their homes. What kind of Islam are we presenting if the people closest to us suffer because of our behavior? Real faith softens the character. Real closeness to Allah increases humility and kindness. Sometimes the people who need your mercy the most are the people inside your own house. Your spouse, your children, your parents, your siblings. We often give our best manners to strangers and our worst behavior to family. We speak politely outside, but become impatient at home. Yet the true test of character is not how you behave when everyone is watching. It is how you behave when nobody is watching. Mercy is not weakness. Forgiveness is not weakness. Patience is not weakness. In fact, Controlling your anger when you have the ability to explode is one of the greatest signs of strength. Anyone can shout, anyone can insult, anyone can hurt, but it takes a heart connected to Allah to remain calm, wise, and compassionate during difficult moments. And understand something important. People may forget your words, but they will never forget how you made them feel. A harsh tongue can leave scars for years. One cruel sentence can remain inside someone's heart forever. This is why the believer chooses words carefully, speak in a way that brings comfort, speak in a way that heals hearts, speak in a way that reflects the beauty of Islam. We also need mercy in the way we judge others. Today, many people are quick to expose faults, cancel others, and act as if they themselves are perfect. But every single one of us is struggling with something. Every one of us needs the mercy of Allah daily. So how can we expect Allah to be merciful to us while we refuse to show mercy to His creation? When you see someone distant from faith, do not immediately attack them. Guide with wisdom, inspire with kindness, advise privately, make dua for them. Sometimes one compassionate conversation changes a life more than years of criticism. Remember, guidance belongs to Allah. Your duty is to represent Islam beautifully. There are young people today who are searching for peace, searching for belonging, searching for meaning. Many of them do not need lectures first. They need kindness first. They need someone who listens without judging. Someone who reminds them that Allah's mercy is greater than their mistakes. Someone who gives them hope instead of shame. And subhanallah, when mercy enters a community, hearts become united. Families become stronger, friendships become healthier, masjids become welcoming, society becomes lighter. But when harshness spreads, people begin to fear one another instead of loving one another. The tongue becomes a weapon. Pride grows, division increases, and the beauty of faith slowly disappears from people's interactions. Never think being kind makes you less respected. The most beloved people are those who make others feel safe. Safe from humiliation, safe from mockery, safe from pain. Imagine meeting Allah one day and finding that your gentle character saved you. Imagine discovering that the smile you gave someone during their darkest moment became heavier on your scale than deeds you considered greater. Mercy is not only for those who deserve it. Mercy is also for those who hurt you, because forgiveness frees your own heart before anyone else. Carrying hatred is exhausting. Carrying anger destroys peace inside you. But when you forgive for the sake of Allah, Allah replaces that heaviness with tranquility. This dunya already contains enough cruelty, enough sadness, enough judgment. Let the believer become a source of light within darkness. Let people feel peace when they are around you. Let your words remind others of Allah's mercy, not His punishment alone. Let your presence heal hearts instead of breaking them, because sometimes the greatest form of dawah is not what comes from your lips, but what comes from your character. And the people closest to Allah are often the people who are the most merciful to His creation. There comes a time in every person's life when their faith is tested. Not spoken about, tested, and the reality is, it is very easy to worship Allah when life is comfortable. It is easy to smile when everything is going your way. It is easy to feel strong when the doors of dunya are open for you. But the true depth of a man appears when life becomes heavy, when the tears become frequent, when the nights become lonely, when the prayers seem delayed, when people disappoint you, when your heart feels exhausted from carrying burdens nobody else can see. This dunya was never meant to be perfect. Sometimes we forget that. We become shocked when hardship enters our lives, as though difficulty means Allah has abandoned us. But every prophet was tested, every righteous person was tested. Even the people most beloved to Allah experienced pain beyond what many of us can imagine. So your struggle is not a sign that Allah hates you. Sometimes it is a sign that Allah is preparing you, purifying you, elevating you, or bringing you closer to Him. One of the greatest deceptions of Shaitan is making people believe that hardship means there is no hope. He whispers into the heart during moments of weakness. He tells people they are too broken, too sinful, too far away from Allah. But Allah's mercy is greater than every mistake you have ever made. Never allow temporary pain to destroy your eternal connection with Allah. There are people sitting among us today who are carrying silent pain. Some are struggling financially. Some are struggling emotionally. Some are facing problems inside their homes. Some are battling sins privately and crying because they want to change but feel trapped. Some have lost loved ones. Some are fighting anxiety every single day while appearing normal outside. And this is why we must constantly remind ourselves and one another that Allah never abandons His servants. Sometimes Allah delays something not because He is punishing you, but because He sees what you cannot see. Sometimes the closed door you cried over was protecting you from destruction. Sometimes the heartbreak you experienced was saving your soul from becoming attached to what would eventually destroy you. We see only moments, but Allah sees the entire picture. And this is why Salah becomes so important during hardship. Not as a burden, but as a lifeline. The world can become noisy, stressful, and overwhelming. But when your forehead touches the ground for Allah sincerely, something happens inside the heart. There is a peace that no human being can provide, a calmness that enters the soul when you know you are speaking to the one who controls everything. Never underestimate the power of dua. Some people stop making dua because they think Allah is not listening. But Allah hears every whisper, every tear, every silent cry hidden deep inside the chest. Sometimes the answer comes immediately. Sometimes Allah delays it because the timing is not yet right. Sometimes Allah replaces what you asked for with something better. And sometimes Allah rewards your patience with something far greater in the Akhirah. We are living in times where distractions are everywhere. Faith is constantly being challenged. People are being pulled toward lifestyles that look attractive outwardly, but leave the soul empty inwardly. Social media makes people compare their lives constantly. Everyone appears happy, successful, perfect. But behind many screens are broken hearts, anxiety, loneliness, and emptiness. Never compare your reality to someone's edited image. Real success is not how famous you become. Real success is not how rich you become. Real success is whether your heart remains connected to Allah despite the storms of life. Because there are people who have everything materially yet cannot sleep peacefully at night. And there are people with very little dunya but immense peace because their trust in Allah is strong. Holding firmly to faith today requires courage. It requires discipline. It requires protecting your eyes, your tongue, your heart, and your environment. Not every place is good for your soul. Not every friendship is healthy for your Iman. Sometimes loving Allah means walking away from things that are slowly damaging your heart. And understand this carefully. Every sin leaves darkness in the heart. At first the heart feels uncomfortable. Then slowly, if the sin continues without repentance, the heart becomes numb. Things that once made us feel guilty no longer affect us. We normalize disobedience. We laugh at what should make us cry. This is why repentance is so important. No matter how many times you fall, return to Allah again and again and again. Allah loves the servant who keeps returning, not because they are perfect, but because they never lose hope in His mercy. There will be moments where your faith feels weak, moments where you feel spiritually empty. This happens to human beings, but do not let temporary weakness become permanent distance from Allah. Keep praying even when you feel nothing. Keep making dua even when answers seem delayed. Keep reading Qur'an even if slowly. Consistency is beloved to Allah, and sometimes Allah tests you not to break you, but to reveal the strength inside you that you never knew existed. The tears you cried in tahajjud may become the reason Allah opens doors you never imagined. The patience you showed during hardship may save you on the day of judgment. The struggle you are enduring today may become the story that inspires someone else tomorrow. Do not be ashamed of your scars. Some of the strongest believers are those who survived battles nobody knew about. They smiled while hurting. They worshipped while struggling. They trusted Allah while the world around them was shaking. Always remember that this dunya is temporary. Every sadness ends, every hardship passes, every pain has an expiration date, but what remains forever is your relationship with Allah. So when life becomes difficult, do not run away from Allah, run toward Him. Because the strongest hearts are not the hearts that never break, but the hearts that continue turning back to Allah after every storm. Every single day, Allah gives us opportunities to become better people, opportunities to rise above our weaknesses, to soften our hearts, to help others, to seek forgiveness, to spread goodness, and to leave behind something beautiful before we return to Him. But many people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment to change. They say, one day I will become closer to Allah. One day I will start praying properly. One day I will leave my bad habits. One day I will fix my character. Yet none of us are promised another day. The greatest deception is believing we have unlimited time. Look around carefully. Life is moving quickly. Children are growing up. Parents are aging. Friends are disappearing from this world one after another. Entire years pass by in what feels like moments. And suddenly a person realizes that so much of life has already gone. Yet the heart still feels distant from Allah. This is why the call to goodness cannot be delayed. When Allah opens your heart towards something good, respond immediately. Because that feeling itself is a gift from Allah. Sometimes goodness begins with something very small. A sincere repentance in the middle of the night, a prayer made with full concentration after years of distraction. An apology to someone you hurt, a decision to forgive someone who wronged you, a quiet act of charity nobody knows about except Allah. Never underestimate small steps toward Allah. Mountains are climbed one step at a time. One of the most beautiful things about Islam is that goodness is not restricted to scholars, wealthy people, or perfect individuals. Every single person can become a source of goodness. A smile is goodness. Removing harm from someone's path is goodness. Feeding someone hungry is goodness. Encouraging a person who feels hopeless is goodness. Even protecting your tongue from hurting others is goodness. And imagine how beautiful this world would become if every believer decided to spread goodness intentionally. Imagine homes filled with patience instead of shouting. Imagine friendships built upon sincerity instead of jealousy. Imagine communities where people care for one another genuinely. The world changes when hearts change. And change begins with individuals. We often look at problems in society and feel overwhelmed. We complain about corruption, hatred, immorality, dishonesty, and division. But many people want the world to improve while refusing to improve themselves. Islam teaches us that transformation begins within. Before changing others, ask yourself, what can I change inside my own life today? Sometimes we wait for massive opportunities to do good while ignoring the simple opportunities around us daily. Your mother may need kindness from you. Your father may need respect from you. Your child may simply need your attention. Your spouse may be silently waiting for gentle words from you. The stranger beside you may need a smile. Goodness is everywhere for the one whose heart is awake. And in this generation especially, we must be careful with how we use our influence. Today, a single post can reach thousands of people within minutes. A single video can influence hearts across the world. Social media itself is not evil. It depends on how we use it. Some people spread reminders, positivity, beneficial knowledge, and hope. Others spread vulgarity, mockery, lies, arrogance, and darkness. Every word you share online is also part of your record with Allah. Ask yourself honestly, if every message I posted appeared before Allah today, would I be proud of it? Sometimes people think goodness means becoming perfect overnight. No, Goodness means trying sincerely even while struggling. It means getting back up after falling. It means refusing to let Satan convince you that your mistakes define you forever. The believer is not sinless. The believer is someone who keeps returning to Allah with humility. And understand this carefully. Your good character may guide people more than your speeches ever will. There are people who came closer to Islam because they witnessed honesty in business, patience in hardship, mercy in relationships, and humility during success. Your actions speak loudly even when your mouth is silent. There are also moments when standing for goodness becomes difficult. Sometimes people mock those trying to improve. Sometimes society normalizes what displeases Allah. Sometimes the believer feels isolated for choosing modesty, honesty, or obedience to Allah. But remember, truth has never depended on numbers. Even if goodness becomes rare around you, never become ashamed of pleasing Allah. The Dunya constantly pulls people toward distractions, endless entertainment, endless comparison, endless desires. And slowly hearts become spiritually empty. People laugh loudly yet cry privately. They appear connected online yet feel lonely inside. They chase temporary pleasures while neglecting eternal peace. This is why the believer must intentionally nourish the soul through remembrance of Allah, sincere worship, beneficial company, and acts of goodness. One sincere deed can change your entire life. Perhaps a person enters Jannah because they relieved someone's hardship. Perhaps Allah forgives someone because they forgave another person sincerely. Perhaps one quiet dua made for someone secretly becomes the reason angels pray for you in return. Never think goodness is wasted. Nothing done for Allah is ever lost. And the beauty of spreading goodness is that its impact continues far beyond what you can see. A kind word you spoke years ago may still be healing someone today. A child you encouraged may grow up carrying confidence because of you. A reminder you shared may inspire someone to return to Salah. A person you helped during darkness may become a source of light for countless others afterward. This is how goodness spreads heart to heart, soul to soul, generation to generation. So do not wait for perfection before answering the call to goodness. Begin where you are. Begin with what you have. Begin with sincerity. If you fall, stand up again. If you become weak, reconnect with Allah again. If your heart becomes distracted, return again. Because the people who change the world are often the people who first allowed Allah to change their hearts. And perhaps the smallest act of goodness you do sincerely for Allah today may become the heaviest thing on your scale tomorrow.